to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the solution dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
Good afternoon and welcome to Youth Unplugged on RCI Radio Caribbean International 101.1 The Caribbean Sound. I'm your host, Miguel Favre. Now, I've spent 13 years working in journalism across radio and television. And one thing experience teaches you is this: voices evolve. Some begin on the stage, others in the newsroom, and some learn in real time how to carry it responsibly. Today, we unplug with Manasseh Stanislavs, a name many solutions recognize for a powerful singing voice, and more recently, an emerging voice in journalism. Welcome to the show, Manasseh.
Thank you, Miguel. Good afternoon, St. Lucia. How are you doing?
It's wonderful to have you here, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're going to get right into it because we do have something in common, and that is being both journalists and members of the media. So let's get to where you came from. You're from a youth community of Soufriere. Let's take it back to the beginning. Where you first realized music was more than just a talent, but a calling.
It happened at 16,
Mm.
but originally when they noticed the talent, I'm from age 4. That's when I first emerged on church stages, and that's how it began.
So you nurtured like a lot of people who we find who have made their way in the music industry overseas. You started off in the
Basically, yeah. Everybody had that church background, from all singers and producers, and actors. They found themselves regarding roots in church.
all right. And just for the record, how old are you?
I can't disclose.
You can disclose? Yeah, but you're before the youth category, so that
I'm
means-
still in the youth category. Yes.
all right. So as long as you put it there,
Yes,
he doesn't
yes,
want to say it. All right. You earned the Art Music Award of Excellence and the Choir Inspiration Award at secondary school graduation. At that age, what did that recognition affirm to you?
That I was making an impact not only in the lives of those who were around me, but also nationally, because persons had known me for singing at national conventions at the churches around the island. So it meant that I was passionate about what I was doing, and that was evolving because I participated in many choir and solo competitions from primary school through secondary and even at tertiary.
Okay. And what secondary school did you attend?
Super comprehensive secondary
Very
school.
All right.
That's
All
right.
right. Okay. And 2018 was a defining year for you. You won the inaugural Art again.
Challenge,
Here we go.
Yep.
Challenge. Oh, it's perfect. You sang the song perfect by Ed.
Ed Sheeran.
How did that make change the trajectory of your life, if you did at all?
It changed drastically. Persons in my community did know I could sing, and even before that, if I could backtrack, in 2015, a video of me performing a John Legend solo went viral at a barbershop, and I think that's the first time on a national, even international level, persons saw me singing. That video got 20,000 views in 2 days from a barbershop, Lincoln Bal Thompson. I went to pick up Bal one time, my barber at the time, cutting edge barbershop. I was singing something, and he noticed the talent. So he said, "Buddy, why don't you do a little video?" And at the time, I was shy. At that time, maybe like 15, 14, I was a really shy kid. I did not like singing in public spaces, and even one-on-one. But that opportunity, well, that video story gave me an opportunity to be featured on In Touch with JD Ojopier, September 1st that year. And JD was surprised. I'm being 14 at the time and being on TV and just going with the flow smoothly, interacting. And that's where it really started. And
If you said interest, I can guess your age.
yeah. you could get, you could guess. Yeah. And then 2018, I was home chilling, and Arthur sent me a message. He's like, "Hey, Manasseh, I have a challenge, and I think you'd be a good participant for it." So I'm watching, submissions. I went online and checked submissions. I'm seeing friends like Sean and other talented people like Jess Mara send their submission already. And I'm like, why is Arthur asking me to send something? And these talented people, they have more leverage than me. And when I came back, I said, "Nah, man, I'm unsure." He said, "Don't worry, man. I know you have this. You have this." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." That afternoon, did a take of Perfect by Ed Sheeran, the verse and the chorus. I sent that in, Miguel. Within an hour and a half, because I went off social media after he posted, within an hour and a half, when I looked at my phone was red hot with notifications, comments, everything flying over the roof. So I'm wondering what's going on. Going on the page, my video was the one trending after everybody's submission at number 32, I believe. Yeah, number 32.
Wow.
And beating everybody that had already submitted before me.
Alright.
And if I forward in the end of the competition in August, I was crowned the winner.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Did Arthur teach you at all? I know
No,
he.
when he was at the school teaching when I was there,
Mhm.
but he was in a different department at the time. He was doing IT
Okay,
at the time. Yeah, but I was already in a form, but he was teaching the lower forms.
okay, okay.
Mhm.
Now, of course, following that win, you moved quickly onto national stages. So there might have been festivals, weddings, gospel concerts, national events.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, performed the duet version of Perfect with Whitney Abisik.
yeah. Whitney, big up Whitney. Yes, a sultry voice herself.
Yeah, and you still as main vocalist on the 40th Independent song We're All In.
Yes, and also there was a track with Arthur. He did it as a tribute. All in our journey, our future.
Right.
Yeah, with the
Yes.
top five of us from the challenge. That was myself, Jess Mara, Steffian, Whitney, and
Stefan
Josie.
Sinclair.
Yes, and Josie Smalls as well.
Okay, all right, all right. And of course, you worked in alongside the greats, the legendary Ronald.
Bohington. Yes, yes.
What did these experiences teach you about discipline and professionalism in the creative space?
No matter your age, if you have the right mindset and attitude, there is plenty of growth. Yeah, because I was surprised that at the time when Wilson called me to be the vocalist, he told me, Manas, I have a song I'm writing. That was after the concert, should have was. We had the concert 25th November 2018. By January 2019, Boo pulled me into the studio and he's like, Manas, I have something I think your vocals would be best to deliver it. I said, okay. He came in, ran it by me, Miriah was there, and I was just practicing it. And then I did my version of it. And Boo just sat up and watched me. He said, boy, you are great talent. You. I don't know what you're doing on island. Yeah, exactly. Yes, I quoted him exactly. So, and I'm not people like, I mean, that's why I'm born. And I mean, I could give to my community, give to national development. And that's when that came out for February, a lot of people were surprised seeing me featured. Young Manas with adults like Wilburn Senpam, Wilburn Maffrey, and Jennifer St. Louis. Yes. And in March that year, Prince Charles, who is now King Charles, came down to do his royal visit, and we were selected to perform that. And that was the first time I actually got to perform for royalty at my young age. That's a milestone, which I will say that really you gave an impact on me.
I agree. I'm sure we should be able to find one of your songs on YouTube, right?
Of course.
We're going to play it for our listeners.
The royalty is there.
All right.
Mhm.
Okay. From there, your personal motto, according to the bio that you did send us,
Making
is
more
that
memory.
moment in
Memory.
memory.
Yep.
Why does that phrase capture your approach to performance?
Again, going from church upbringing, when I used to minister and sing, gospel songs, it really made people reflect. It really impacted their life emotionally and gave them that upliftment with my style of singing. So it literally left an impact. And there are people who I may not have met in person, and when I see them, it's like I remember when you sang that song that particular day and what it did to me. And I'm watching these people like me at the time, I may not have met them, but because they remember it, and it impressed on them, I feel that that is a suitable motto that I can live to and will continue living up to in what I do.
Yeah, that's sort of similar to your life journalism, if I were to capture your mind, which is what we're going to move into right after we take this quick break. And of course, before we talk about journalism, after the break, we're going to take in one of your songs, so that our audience can listen to and capture that golden voice that is Stanislaus. We'll be right back with Youth Unplugged, sponsored by the Youth Economy Agency, turning those dreams and those talents into a viable business.
But imagine, sometimes feeling like there's only 2 days in the week. Yesterday was Monday, and look at them Friday afternoon. So hear that. Do you have a talent or skill that you can turn into a business idea? Well, don't sleep on you, my youth. Get your business started today. The Youth Economy Agency will guide you. Provide funding. Yes, sister. Provide funding. Plus training to run your business profitably. Yo, go online now to start living the St. Lucian dream. Just one click and boom, you're in business.
All right, I'm right back with Youth Unplugged, sponsored by the Youth Economy Agency, with your host Miguel Favre and my guest Manasa Stanislaus. You may know him from Street Vibe on PBS television. And if you don't, you may know that Golden Voice. And we're going
The
to play
vocalist.
one of his songs right now. It's called "Come Know Me." He's AKA the vocalist. That is the name. So let's see if we can catch some Manasa the next 2 minutes. brief us on that. Of course, following having won the Arthur Allen challenge, you said there were other.
Yeah. I began from there. I began going into music production, and that's where I dropped my first single in 2020 February or January. Sorry, "Come Know Me." That was produced by Islands. It was supposed to be a song for the at the time Youth Fest.
Oh, you
Yeah,
first.
Youth Fest at the time, but I did not have time to finish the third verse, so I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't have to finish the verse, so I wasn't able to put that out. But the next year, early in January, I got the inspiration for that verse after a month of brain fog, and I was able to drop it as a groovy soca. Just an interesting mix of my vocals. Not from the normal R&B gospel that person's knew me for. I produced that, dropped it, but then COVID came right after, so that killed momentum on everything. But during that downtime, I got inspiration to link up with some amazing persons like my cousin Sika, Sika the rapper, big up him, Sika. You also have persons like Dupes. I worked with Dupes on some projects. He dropped his EP7, and I was featured on Feelings. Yeah, that track Feelings. We also had persons like Kevin Plastid and Salty, Alex Klein Salty. We made a debut for Summertime. I think that would be the best song to play around this time. Yeah, Summertime. We did that in the midst of COVID and lockdown. We dropped that in August. And then for the Christmas season, I dropped a cover of Chestnuts. And also I did a tribute to St. Lucia on National Day, which was at the ocean.
Okay.
Yeah, I did it, the song, and I produced the video the year after for Independence at the ocean, talking about St. Lucia people.
All right.
So COVID was a year of, I mean, great creativity for me. I was able to put out like 4 or 5 songs in collaborations as well as singles. So it did something for me. Yep.
All right. So I'm going to get back into the
Come know me.
Come Know Me in a little bit. Sorry, I'm going to get back into the Come Know Me in just a little bit. I was just trying to get that. So in the meantime, let's go into your transition to the media. In 2023, if I have it right, you
Yep.
made a pivot into the media, and that's not a casual decision. What really motivated that move from you?
It was an opportunity, honestly. I had applied to DBS for marketing because I had a sales background. But Miss Dahe, she knew who I was and she knew me outside of music and everything. And she's like, Manas, I believe this opportunity would suit you best. And I remember I responded, I don't have the capacity for a newsroom. I may have it for something else, but newsroom, I may not be worthy. But she told me, with your personality, I bet you could transition into it pretty well. And so said, so done. I was hired that year and being tutored under the remarkable experience of Lisa Joseph, God rest her soul, Lord. Lisa Joseph, I appreciate all the work that she did with me and just giving us counsel and, continuing to refine our craft and giving us that mandate that we are the pillars of society and whatever we do has to reflect truth and upliftment. Basically, truth and upliftment.
All right. So before we get back into our media discussion, let me just see if I can get Come Know Me now.
Hey, don't be shy, come know me. Whatever you got, come show me. I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Look at that, that's crazy. Whatever you got, come show me. See that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Love, dream girls, have a look at it. Worship your body, set yourself up crazy. I think I'll check them for a while. I got you ready, you got to stop. Come along me, whatever you got, come show me. I feel like you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Look at that, that's crazy. Whatever you got, come show me. I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Yeah, you tell me your money around. Where you there when you can't tell him where you're around? Tell me, baby, where you come from. Tell me that you see me around. Well, you, me, step on the dance floor. Show me what you will come for. If we dance to the music, we go catch a vibe. If you feel it, don't be shy, come know me. Whatever you got, come show me. I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Look at that, that's crazy. Whatever you got, come show me. I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Take me number, give me a call or text me later. I know that we both related. Make sure that we're not related.
Oh boy, you have to remember that for sure.
I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me. Look at that, that's crazy. Whatever you got, come show me. I see that you left you lonely. I'm asking your name and you say that you know me.
And I had to put that mic on.
Yeah,
It
boy.
was having a lot of his on. So I had to try put his mic on so you could hear the vocals live. And it was Manasseh's song, Come To Me.
No AI at the time, so you can't say that on me.
No auto tune, no
No,
AI,
auto-tune, natural,
AI,
natural.
natural. And there's a bit of a Teddyson. I heard a bit of a Teddy, a Michael Robinson.
Mixing
and
the
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that's a good mix.
yeah,
If I'm
yeah.
hearing that, that's a good
Mhm.
mix. All right, let's get back to your media, your media career. Uh, Having hosted segments like Street Fight on PBS, that's another thing we have in common because I did host that.
The POV boy, boy.
That's awesome. Um, I know the reality of this field. What has been the biggest adjustment for you stepping into journalism?
Never take anything personal. That's the pillar. That's one thing I have. My motto: never take anything personal. Believe half of what you hear, and none of what you see, but also just the truth.
You get a lot of criticism.
Of course, Miguel. If you remember, I think earlier last year when I wore my turtlenecks in the middle of spring and summer, I guess people were not too fond of it, and yeah, I got backlash on social media.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, it's my style, but people did not understand. But I guess now they have gotten more accustomed and
You'll
appreciate it.
never get a customer.
No. Before it, I feel bad. They got onto it. They got onto it. They told me sorry for it. But yeah. Those who don't understand, you will never know. But that's just me. It's just me.
Do you find that your reporting is an extension of your own personality?
Yes, because I still do advocacy through media. Music was my place of advocacy, ministering to persons, in church and in religious events. But now I'm actually being a voice for persons who have issues which need attending to or just awareness on a particular situation. So persons in the authorities could take note and make changes to make persons' lives better. And I think that is what my mission is. I make things easier for people. And with the voice that I have, it is only one way to serve God and serve man by doing that.
Now, yeah, that segues right into it. The other question I was going to ask you. Of journalism, there's a lot of responsibility that it carries. There's accuracy, balance, and accountability. As a young journalist, how are you learning to navigate the responsibility while still advocating for issues that matter to you? Because someone might very well say that you're advocating for there's a bias on your part, your report might not be
Mhm.
objective. So how do you navigate this balance of having to ensure that you're accurate and balanced, meanwhile advocating for what you believe in?
Well, there are three sides to the story, and if you incorporate all three sides, the he say, the they say, and the truth, or the three parties involved in that story, then persons could get better perspective instead of leaning on to just one side, making it seem that you're, like you said, biased. But through journalism, I've learned not to just limit things to one side, but try to incorporate both parties. There are times when you do reach out for clarity on another party's end and they do not provide comment, but at least if you make a reference that effort was made and that you do have proof, then it could leave space for persons to maybe look forward to a response. And I think that has helped me a lot because there was a time I remember I wrote a report and I think I excluded a response from an opposition. And it was brought to my attention that if I had given that response, it would have curtailed the perception of the situation. So these things come with experience. You live and you learn. So you don't take it personal. You just add it as a pin in your step whilst you go through the process and navigate your way.
All right, all right. Um, how has your background in music shaped your storytelling in media? And conversely, how has journalism reshaped how you approached music? Or has it, if it has?
It has been more relatable to persons. Sometimes we see certain things and we don't express it the right way or put it in a manner that everybody could understand. So it's only a certain set of persons could understand. But as my editor Kendall Boots once said, you have to be able to write a story that the 5-year-old, the farmer, and the scholar could all understand, yeah, or relate to. So that has really shaped how I've been writing. So if it's relatable to people, the facts are in there and it's to a point, no one can miss it. They'll be well informed.
All right. Many young people feel pressured to fit into one box: singer, journalist, creative, advocate. How do you define yourself in a space that often demands labels?
Okay, I'll say this. When I first came into media and persons saw me at events, the first thing, hey Manasa, you're here to perform. Now when they saw the mic in my hand and did not know I was in media, and they're like, you work in media now? I said, yeah. She said, oh, I thought you came to perform. Now that's people who knew me from before I joined. But those who knew me and then see me after, then they were like, you're in media and you're in music. So it was a flip because the two careers do merge. Music and media do cross paths. So there are times when I'm at an event, I'm doing one, and then I switch into the other, or I go to one event, people see me for media, and then the next event they see me for music. So it kind of leaves that space of what am I? But like you said, assigning a label, it restricts your growth. But if I could be all free, someone in media, someone in music, someone in marketing, I don't see what is the problem.
And the term creative covers it all in any case.
Yep, being a creative.
There you go. All right. Before we get into the rapid fire round, and I am shy I didn't tell you about
No shots, please. I can't take shots.
nah, not those shots.
All right.
But you will have to take a shot though at answering the questions. But what we do with the rapid fire round is that we ask questions and the first answer comes to the top of your head.
Shoot.
You respond.
All right.
But we ain't getting there yet. Final question before we get to the rapid fire round. What message would you give to young people who feel torn between multiple passions?
Boy, that is a tough one. Let me see how I could best answer it.
I'm sure you lean more towards music and media, so you may not feel torn.
No, well, you see, the thing is, I have grown to love media and I still love music, so I'm not feeling torn. I'm just trying to share the both of them. But for persons who may have multiple talents and don't know where they stand, just remember how the story of the talents came along. I think that should give them some inspiration and guidance. One man had a talent, he buried it, gave it back. The other, he invested, and the other just sat down on it, not doing anything. So if you just bury your talent, there's no room for growth. If you just work on the one that you have alone, then you're still not growing in that facet. But if you invest and then you work around the multiple talents, then you'd see the result in your personal growth and journey. So anybody who has multiple talents, invest in them equally. I mean, you'll always have a favorite. You'll always have a favorite. But if you invest in all of them equally, it will grow you as a person, and your discipline will determine how far you go within these certain aspects.
You see, and I remind me of this song because in primary school, one talent have I to take to the sky.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
That's up there, ten of the best. All right.
Yeah.
So as we wind down, we have just about 5 minutes left. Let's get to the rapid fire round before we close up. Melissa, Soufre or Castries?
Soufre,
Why?
serenity, culture, it's home. I mean, I can never neglect home. Even though I've spent the last 5 years living in the north, I could never neglect Soufre. That's my home.
All right. Choir or solo performance?
Ooh, boy, Miguel, why you trying to make me shoot? Why you trying to make me shoot? I love being a soloist because I've been a soloist most of my life, but I do enjoy being a part of a choir. Yes, I do. I do enjoy that.
See, you deflected that shot very well. That's all right. Stage lights or newsroom lights?
Both, eh? I honestly both. I don't have a. Oh yeah, both. I take both.
Oh, they're both a stage, yeah?
Yeah, both on the stage. Yeah.
Live performance or studio recording?
Ah, Live. The reason I say live, I have more creative expression. In studio, I mean, there's a set balance I have to keep. Yeah, yeah. But for me, the thing is, I still sound as on record as in live. But for me, I still prefer live. It gives me that leeway to just connect to the crowd differently. On a record, you may not be able to connect with your crowd. Yeah, so at least, yeah.
I kind of feel the same way. Live performances, I like the adrenaline rush. I like the ability to for improv,
Mhm.
to ad lib and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it
yeah.
might come to you, and based on how the crowd is
You can then navigate that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in studio, and you're trying to watch it, you're like, oh Lord, why did I do this? Why did I say that?
You see? Yeah.
I get it. Yeah. All right. If you had to choose music or media,
You'll see what we can do. You'll see what we can do. Yeah. Miguel, music will always be at the heart because that's who I am. That's what I am. But I appreciate both. I appreciate both of them. Honestly, media has shaped me differently. It has given me that platform, like I said, to be a voice to persons. It has sharpened my public speaking skills. Even though I was not that much of a introvert, but now it has just grown me into, hey, I can stand on a stage, ground myself, and reach an audience.
I'm
So
sure
yeah, yeah.
I'm sure you'd love to sing a news report one day.
Boy, if I could, I would. If I could, I would.
Bro, you can.
Nah, Miguel.
We had to talk. We had to talk.
Wait, one day.
I'll show you some little reports. You had to talk.
Okay.
You can't listen.
Uh,
There's always space for creativity.
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
really
But remember,
makes
you have to understand that. Remember, your voice is supposed to be respected as the pillar of truth. So if you make it comic, it might not be received that way. That's the balance you have to strike.
you can't be comedic and be truthful. It's how it's grasped. And it's not about being comedic. It's just how you present. It's how you present the story. But we'll talk about it.
Okay, all right.
I can't let everyone.
Yeah, no, obviously you understand. Yeah.
All right. And finally, on the rapid fire round, one word, Manasseh, that defines your journey so far.
Evolutionary.
Evolutionary.
Mhm.
All right. That's life.
Yeah.
Evolutionary. And of course, as you evolve, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
I've always wanted to see myself in the next 5 years touring and being a full-time musician, honestly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you have the good press influences around you. You have Nikolai Alpha and the great Ronald Hinkson.
Yep.
All right, so looking ahead, you've spoken about becoming a full-time recording and touring artist, like you just said.
Mhm.
What does success look for? I asked you that again,
Mhm.
but how would you know that you have, in the 5 years' time, how do you know that you have actually succeeded or achieved? What would be the mark for you or the indicator that you have achieved in your field?
Looking back at who I was and seeing who I've become and knowing what I could become, that will determine that factor because there's always grace with growth. Some people think that you have to become somebody quicker, but the journey of growth allows you to see things that maybe you would not have noticed had you just gone straight to that goal. So the stumbling blocks are not supposed to be a denial, but it's only a refining. And I think as creatives, we tend to put pressure on ourselves when we want to see by this year I would have want to achieve that. And if that doesn't happen, then it steers us away from the passion and it kills our zeal. And I've been in that space. I know how that feels, but I would encourage anyone, whether creative or not, to not let a disappointment be a denial, but only a refining.
Boy, you put it so well. You put it so well. So, Manasseh Stanislas, thank you for unplugging with us here today on Youth Unplugged on Radio Caribbean.
But hold on, we can't forget about the economy part and everything.
I was going according to my script.
So that you have to divert, you see what I mean?
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
I'm tell you, we have to give our sponsors a plug.
Okay. Oh, yeah, man. All right, now we're talking.
Because you can plug the first. It's now time to
Plug it
unplug
in.
your podcast.
Yes, sir.
You see, like I will teach you a few things, All right. But of course, as you know, and you did say that earlier, you did disclose to me off the record that you have benefited from them.
Yes.
But the Youth Economic Agency, as we know, to put it simply, it starts with taking those already existing businesses, all those business ideas, and helping the young people within a particular age who fall into the youth category, shape those ideas into a viable business, of course, along with the requisite training and support from the agency. And these comes in both loan and grant facilities. You have benefited, but first of all, tell me what you think of such an initiative and tell us about your experience with the Youth Economy Agency.
Honestly, this is a great initiative. Giving persons that independence and freedom, because some persons they're not meant to be hired for work. but for self-hire. And if you, like I said, if you become an entrepreneur, then you actually own your business, you own the capital, and you could make a contribution to society and the economy through that. My experience with this economy, chef's kiss. I can't say anything bad. When I made my proposal, it took a little while, not too long. They called me in. They looked at what I sent in my inventory, and I was able to liaise with my officers, also speak to the CEO, Mr. Brian Vidal. So thank you, Mr. Yeah, big up, Mr. Brian. Yep, yep. And I got my equipment within a few months of that, everything in check. And now I'm able to do my hotel gigs. I'm able to host events. It really has opened that door for me. So for financial stability, yeah. So I could tell young persons, if you have a talent and you want to turn it into a reality, please take opportunity, take grab of what the Youth Economy Agency has through their courses, through their grants. Trust me, you won't be left behind. I mean, it may take a while, but in the end, you will be guaranteed that success if you are patient and you're willing to work.
All right, so that's it. Now you see, he kind of led into my script. He gave away the whole thing I was going to talk about, so he spoke about it. The Youth Economy Agency. I'll big up Brian and everybody else at the Youth Economy Agency.
Yep.
And shout out all the young people who have taken advantage of the opportunities available at the Youth Economy Agency and are now business owners. Those who are already business owners have had an opportunity to
Expand. Yep.
You know, so shout out to that. That's one of the best initiatives, and I'm very annoyed. I continue to be annoyed at Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre because he should have been there when I was like that.
Yeah.
But, the opportunity is still available for those who are older with the MSME loan and grant facility with the Ministry of Commerce.
But you also have the creative industry one too. A lot of persons are waiting for that. So that's coming through. A lot of persons are waiting for them to be called. So that is there as well.
Exactly. Yep. For you young people, is there for you, so go take advantage of it. So this has been another episode of Youth Unplugged, sponsored by the Youth Economy Agency. I'm Miguel Favre, and this was my first Manasseh Stanislaus, a young man who I watch you, don't worry.
You can't watch a junior. You can't watch a junior, Miguel. You're a senior here, man.
Yeah, let's see. I'll tell you what's coming up next. Well, until then, and maybe until your next big break, we could probably have you on Youth again. Granted that you're still youth, so you don't wait too long.
Well, last year I didn't get a break though. I was able to feature on Exo Jazz. Yeah, I actually featured on Exo Jazz. Yeah, for Jazz. Well, this year I'm hoping to.
This year too?
Yeah. Well, this year I'm hoping to. Yeah. Because last year was Exo. Yeah.
Talia Santon.
Talk to me, Jurain. Talk to me. What's up?
And of course, the Honorable Dr. Ernest Hiller, you're listening.
Right.
Manasseh is right here. He's available. Let's get him on main stage.
All right.
So until then, till next Thursday, I am Miguel Favre saying to all of you, stay inspired, stay intentional, and remember your voice, you young people, always matters. And remind you once again that the Youth Unplugged is brought to you by the Youth Economy Agency.
But hold on, Miguel. Persons who are looking to make a moment of memory, don't forget you can contact me at 717-2529. You can follow me on social media at the Vocalist 758. Let's make your moment of memory. Vocals and the voice of advocacy.
I'm getting old, normally I would actually give all that information out there, but the conversation was so thrilling that I completely forgot that. But you start to pay ourselves advertising yourself. Just joking. Let's see that information one more time.
All right. Don't forget, if you want to make a moment of memory for weddings, events, funerals, you name it, 717-2529. That is 717-2529. The Vocalist. You could follow me on social media, and you could also expect new music. So stay tuned. There's more to come.
And make sure you hold my 5% commission aside, yeah?
Hot speed.
But imagine, sometimes it's feeling like